It is well known that the Deobandi movement did a lot to support the independence of India. The movement originated for removing British East India Company rule since the beginning in 1857. With the First Indian Rebellion of 1857, many non-Muslim freedom fighters of India supported this movement because it always focused on helping people, despite the person being a Muslim or a non-Muslim. This quality fascinated many, and one of them was Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, the leader of the Azad Hind forces. When Bose traveled to Germany with the hopes that the victory of Axis power, mainly Nazi German Empire, also known as the Third German Reich, would result in a major fall of the Britishers. During Bose's time in Germany, he made a call to the Indians asking them to follow certain people for the sake of an independent India. During the call, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose mentioned names that Indians should follow. One of mentioned names being Mufti Kifayatullah Dehlavi, the Grand Mufti of India and a prominent Deobandi scholar. Bose continued to mention names of many other Muslim scholars from Jamiat Ulama. Bose also praised Jamiat Ulama in quoting, "The goal of Jamiat-e-Ulama has ever been complete independence, and it regards this as its religious, political, and moral right, and anything which stands in the way of this right is unbearable to it." There was a certain thing why Bose praised Jamiat Ulama Hind. That is, Bose was preparing for a campaign movement against the British East India Company, typically a war. Famous freedom fighters like Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, etc. were against his idea. They wanted Bose to resign as the president of Congress, but only Jamiat Ulama Hind came forward to help Bose. Raj printers from Meerut published statements of the meeting between Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and Maulana Ahmad Said Dehlavi, the first General Secretary of Jamiat Ulama Hind. The meeting was commenced to discuss the steps that the Jamiat Ulama Hind should take after the Second World War had broken down in Europe. There is another account of Bose meeting a prominent Deobandi scholar, Maulana Ubaidullah Sindhi, popularly known as Imam-e-Inqilab. During the course of World War II, Britishers commanded Indians to help them fight the Nazi Empire. While the Congress discussed this order, Jamiat Ulama Hind came out opposing. Jamiat Ulama Hind published statements back-to-back against the Britishers and even published fatwas mentioning it is haram to help the British East India Company in any way or the other. This was exactly what Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and the Deobandi scholars were planning to do so against the Britishers. Due to these fatwas and statements, British East India Company started arresting Deobandi scholars. According to the British, the fatwas of the Deobandi scholars were very radical, fanatic, and rebellious, though the British tried their best, but they couldn't contaminate the fatwas and statements of the Jamiat Ulama Hind. Muslims had always played an important role in the independence of India. Today, many of the events are long forgotten or not mentioned for a political propaganda and biased hatred towards the Muslims. The scholars of Deobandi movement had proven that Muslims fear none but God. Deobandi scholars didn't hesitate to publish fatwas against the British, even though they knew the consequences of doing so. Our page would continue to share more of the Deobandi Muslim history. So subscribe now. If you learned something new, then please give us a thumbs up. We will see you in the next video.